On March 27, 2022, the 94th Academy Awards had their annual ceremony celebrating the movies released in the previous year, and unfortunately, a big incident happened, and that caught the attention of media and people worldwide. Will Smith slaps Chris Rock. So the biggest news to come out of this Academy Awards is not about the movies or the celebration of these actors or the production. It's the fact that Will Smith got up and slapped Chris Rock. As I'm starting this recap of the 94th Academy Awards, I want to get through this first and then we'll go over all the other stuff. Chris Rock made a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith, Will Smith's wife, which is a joke about Jada being bald, referencing a sequel to a very old movie called G.I. Jane. And then seconds after the joke was said, we see Will Smith walking up the stage and slaps Chris Rock. When it comes to comedy and making jokes, you're open to saying whatever you want. I mean, same with freedom of speech, but you are responsible, you are accountable for what you say, because your words can hurt or insult other people. Will Smith is in every right to defend his wife, but it didn't need to go to him walking up to Chris Rock and slapping him. Will Smith really did overreact in this matter. In hindsight, there were other ways to do it properly, but what played out on live television was that of that slap. In my opinion, this incident that happened in the last hour of the show, although last hour being an hour 40-ish minutes as it went over the allotted time, kind of tarnished the end of the awards ceremony, to which after the incident, Will Smith would win Best Actor for his role in King Richard. In his acceptance speech, he would apologize to the Academy for the incident. He would continue on with his speech talking about love, which was well said, despite him mumbling because he was emotional as he was saying his speech. And then the broadcast censors went haywire as you would see the camera cut away because there was a lot of bodily fluids coming out of Will Smith because he was emotional and crying. The director would cut away to a shot of the Williams family where there was an alleged nip slip. So the broadcast just cut away to a title screen of it just saying Oscars. With that incident and his acceptance speech, it did really feel all awkward in the moment. I am filming my Academy Awards recap early in the morning of Tuesday. Yesterday on Monday evening, Will Smith would put out a statement apologizing to Chris Rock and apologizing to everybody for his actions. There have been wild moments in live broadcast history when it comes to sports with, people kind of streaking or running on the field of play while a sport was going on, or in the 2009 MTV VMAs where Kanye West interrupts Taylor Swift's acceptance speech. But with this incident, this is going to be remembered for a very, very long time. And the whole messing up the announcement of Best Picture between Moonlight and La La Land, that is nothing compared to this now. But all in all, let this be a lesson for us. Try not to enact violence in reaction to something. Violence is not the way to go. It's not the solution. In that situation, there are better ways to handle something like that. But sadly, that didn't happen. It was the slap heard around the world. I'll put a link in the description below for a news article video about the Academy Awards from the guys of Internet Today. They do a great job talking about it in depth. Now, there was another controversial thing that happened that night that got looked past because of what happened with Chris Rock and Will Smith. What I see as the Academy's way of getting more younger viewers to tune into the Academy Awards, the Academy put out these Twitter polls. The first Twitter poll is fan favorite film of 2021. I believe the Academy did that in order to broadcast the fan favorite film of 2021, which we all assume was going to be Spider-Man No Way Home, right? That top honor went to Zack Snyder's Netflix movie Army of the Dead. What also made it into the top 5 of fan favorite film of 2021 is Minamata, starring Johnny Depp, and the other movie was the Amazon Prime retelling of Cinderella, starring Camila Cabello. Really, these polls did backfire on the Academy, but let me go to that next one. The other Twitter poll was the best cheerworthy moment in film history. At number 5 was the Matrix backbend. Yeah, that was good. At number 4 was Jennifer Hudson's performance of You're Gonna Love Me from Dreamgirls. Those two were fine. Number 3, Avengers Assemble and Endgame. Number 2 being Spider-Man No Way Home's moment of all 3 Spider-Man coming together. And then at number 1, for the top cheerworthy moments in film history, is The Flash Enters the Speed Force from Zack Snyder's Justice League. Oh man. It is funny that these Twitter polls backfired on the Academy, and Zack Snyder stands just trolled the Academy with honoring Zack Snyder with the fan vote stuff. Honestly, I could say I saw that coming. They were gonna troll the Academy some way, somehow, with these fan polls. I understand the sentiment of what the Academy was trying to get to, showcase the more popular movies in their award ceremony, but it really backfired on them, and next year, Academy, please, you don't need to do this again. You tried, it failed, don't do it again. Now let's get to the ceremony. It is a return into the Dolby Theater for the Academy Awards ceremony. Last year they held it at Union Station to abide by the COVID safety protocols. They did do changes to the seating, as it was table seating, kind of like in the Golden Globes, but just in that floor area of the theater. And we saw a return of hosts to the Academy Awards after a year's long stint of not having a host for the show. The hosts were Wanda Sykes, Regina Hall, and Amy Schumer. In my opinion, I do prefer the Oscars having a host or hosts. I feel it does make the Oscars more entertaining than just the announcing of awards. A lot of the hosts throughout the years have been comedians, and for the most part, the majority of their jokes don't really hit with me, and some jokes do hit with me. And when they do hit well, they have the potential to becoming something memorable in the show. But for the trio of hosts overall, they were alright. But I would rather have them than no hosts at all. This year's format of the Oscars was still the same. They presented the winners, they had their in memoriam segment, they had the other segments honoring other awards. For the technical and production awards, they just pre-recorded the awards giving and showed it off during the television broadcast, so that way they could quickly make it within the 3-hour goal, which they didn't, by the way. They still went over their 3-hour time slot. There are still a lot of great things to come out of this 94th Academy Award ceremony. There were tributes and cast reunions for The Godfather, Juno, White Men Can't Jump, and my particular favorite was Pulp Fiction. Uma Thurman, John Travolta, and Samuel L. Jackson came out with a briefcase like in the movie, and inside that briefcase had the envelope when they presented the award for Best Actor. There was also an awesome tribute segment for the 60 years of James Bond. They made a cool montage honoring 60 years of Bond. I really loved watching that as a James Bond fan. Some of the winner speeches were very heartfelt and inspirational, which I'll get to some of them once I discuss the winners. But with that, it felt like any other Academy Award ceremony. Well, after the 2 controversial moments of the awards night, now let's get into the winners of the 94th Academy Awards. Dune was the big winner of the night, winning 6 Oscars, which all their wins came in the production categories, with Best Sound, Best Film Editing, Best Cinematography, Best Score, Best Production Design, and Best Visual Effects. Ariana DeBose won Best Supporting Actress for her role as Anita in West Side Story. She gave an amazing speech talking about inclusion of the LGBTQ plus communities and people of color, where she referenced a lyric from West Side Story saying, "There's a place for us." Best Supporting Actor went to Troy Kotsur for Coda. Troy Kotsur this award season really swept the board with all the awards he's won, from SAG to the Critics' Choice Awards to the Academy Awards with this Oscar. Coda writer Sean Heder won for Best Adapted Screenplay. Kenneth Branagh won for Best Original Screenplay for Belfast. Like I mentioned up top, Best Actor went to Will Smith for King Richard, and for Best Actress went to Jessica Chastain for The Eyes of Tammy Faye. Gold Derby experts mentioned that this was the hardest one to predict who would win for Best Actress. Best Original Song went to Billie Eilish and Phineas for their James Bond title song No Time to Die. As a James Bond fan, I am glad Billie Eilish and Phineas won in this category for Best Original Song. No Time to Die is a beautifully haunting title song that fits with the James Bond franchise. Best Director went to Jane Campion for The Power of the Dog. Now, I want to end with the film categories. These are awarding the movies itself. Starting with Best Documentary Feature, that went to Summer of Soul or When the Revolution Could Not Be Televised. The Roots drummer Questlove wins his first Oscar for this documentary. That goes along with his other accolades with 5 Grammy wins. Best Animated Feature went to Disney's Encanto. There's no doubting that Disney has won a lot of these Best Animated Feature films from the Oscars. There were a couple of off years, like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, that won. Best International Film went to Drive My Car from Japan. If you haven't seen my review, Drive My Car is a brilliantly made movie. And lastly, the top honor of the night, Best Picture, went to Coda. Coda is an amazing movie, a beautiful movie, a very heartfelt movie. If you haven't seen my review of Coda, check it out. Coda definitely deserves winning Best Picture for the 94th Academy Awards. The 94th Academy Awards would be, remember, with that incident between Chris Rock and Will Smith, sadly. But looking past that incident, I am really glad with all the winners, in my opinion. Wait, no. I believe the documentary The Rescue should have been entered for Best Documentary Feature, at least a nomination. That documentary was amazing. Lately, the Academy Awards ceremonies, aka the Oscars ceremonies, really have been for those who are fans of movies or fans of these actors or personalities. Year after year, they've been seeing drops in ratings. But with this year's Oscars broadcast, it saw an increase of viewership ratings. But from reading the article from Collider, it doesn't really top what it did in the past. Because in terms of live events, the Academy Awards used to be like the Super Bowl. People would sit down and watch the Academy Awards. I find that the Academy needs to realize nowadays, with all these mediums out there, with how there's plentiful different things to see, do, and watch, that the Academy should just really focus on what it was good at, and that was just having a host present these movies to the world, and that was it. And for them to know their real audience. And that's a lot of these movie buffs, a lot of these moviegoers. And then of course you got the fans of these actors or fans of the subject type of movie, because I don't think the Academy Awards would go back to that type of viewership in the past. They just have to mold their ceremony to be who they are and not trying to be something else. That plus, as the years go on, we'll be seeing a change of guard in the Academy, and we'll probably see a different set of movies. We'll probably see more popular movies being nominated for the Academy Awards. With that, that is my recap of the 94th Academy Awards. Congratulations to Coda and for Dune for winning the most Oscars that night. Definitely check out my reviews of the Oscar-nominated movies. I did a whole week of them, posting multiple episodes in one day to showcase my review of these movies that are nominated. And definitely check out the rest of my variety of videos on the Spillgo YouTube channel. And as always, thank you for watching.